What is up, everyone? Welcome back to day 19 of the 75-day heart challenge. I probably titled the video something related to me being done with school, graduating. Today was my last day, and I just have two final presentations. They're both business related. So there's an actual really big company and the representatives or something actually there during the presentation because it was a proposal. Yeah, it was pretty good. They asked questions, but dude, I'm finally done. I technically should have been done a year ago, but as you guys know, my whole university journey was very interesting because obviously at times when I was finding success in other parts of my life, during my sales career, and then obviously during the Faceless YouTube Shorts stuff, whenever it made sense, I have taken gap semesters, I've taken part-time semesters, and I've also made up for it during summer a lot of times. And I'm saying that because a lot of people, especially, when you want to get into business, entrepreneurship, you think, and I was one of those people where you have to do either or. And don't get me wrong, obviously if, looking back at the past 4 years, if I didn't do school or whatever, I would have had a lot of extra time. And, obviously I could have diverted my energy elsewhere. But at the same time, again, everything happens for a reason and you have to look at the bright side and deeper meaning behind everything. I obviously had, a great time. I made a lot of great memories. I learned a lot. And also just in terms of being disciplined, there's so much more that goes on and so much more benefits that things have on your life that you don't realize, right? On a surface level, it's yeah, I don't like school, I'm not going to use a degree, and it's a waste of time. But on a deeper level, it's okay, whatever. At the end of the day, sure, now you can use AI and stuff to do everything. But actually, one thing I do want to talk about today is like I said, we did two presentations. In my first one, my group was pretty decent, good, it was chill, very small class. Second one, my group was low-key, not the best, and it was a bigger class. And okay, again, as somebody who's been in sales and now I have more skills in terms of communication, I genuinely enjoy presenting to some extent. I'm still very socially quiet. I'm never gonna go out my way to talk to somebody, and I'm not I'm not the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not saying that. I have I have so much more to learn, but at the same time, I'm not somebody who's quiet or you know what I mean. When it's time to present, I will yap and So with that group, again, those guys were not the best. So I was I even when I did that presentation, I told them I'll do 80-90% of it, don't worry. And even presenting, I'm just be quick, I'll do most of it. So I did my whole part. It was all good, and it was great. I genuinely enjoy, just like I said, it is fun to some extent, especially when it's something like this where it's very vague, so there's no right or wrong answer. So again, being somebody who just loves to yap, bro, they asked a bunch of questions and I was yapping, and again, it's something that I could be creative with because it's business related. So one of our recommendations was related to social media. Again, that hits home for me, so I was very passionate about it. But anyways, after the presentation, a few people came up to me, they're wow, that's a really great job, the way you presented, the way you answered questions on the spot. And some guy was just what do you do, bro? He shook my hand and everything, and I was I kind of told him first I said thank you. I was that's probably because of my, he's because he was how are you, whatever, right? I was that's probably shout out to my sales experience, but again, I'm very awkward. Even when people talk to me, I'm just kind of I don't know. It's very weird. It's a very double-edged sword. And it also makes you realize, again, for me, I think I'm so dude, I'm so, I think I'm so bad. I think I could be so much better, but at the same time, especially in I'm comparing myself to the fucking goats of sales and all these people who are pro, Iman Gadzi, who really do this shit, and I'm trying to be like that. So I'm comparing myself to that. But even today, just realizing, bro, people are saying that, and just seeing other people present and everything, I was I'm not that bad. And the fact that he came up to me, he introduced himself, he's yo, he took my Instagram. It was it was a good feeling and a good reminder that sometimes the work you do and the skills you develop actually benefit you in the long run, right? Speaking, communication, properly being able to present your ideas, to articulate yourself, is definitely a skill. And especially if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to be in business, sales is business, right? You need to know how to communicate. And it's so much easier, right? Connections and whatnot. I mean, shout out to that guy, right? Again, I'm not somebody who would go out my way to speak to anybody, but he actually came to me, and so it was great. And again, I'm not doing sales right now, but it's something I did for a lot of my life and something I enjoy and something that I'll always be doing. So it really made me realize that it's like, maybe I'm not doing it right now, but all the things I've learned, the communication skills, the person I am today, the way I was able to present today, it's all because of that, all the work I did then. And trust me, I am, like, if you know me, guys, I'm not somebody who was too good at this stuff. Like, I'm very shy. I'm very, I don't know. I just wasn't as good as I am now, because of the whole sales thing. So anyways, I just wanted to share that because it really made me realize, and I want to say it to you guys as well. Like, if you really want to get better at communication, and it's not just sales, I'm gonna also shout out to reading books also definitely helps you, more words. And then again, when it's time to present your ideas and communicate, it definitely helps. Journaling as well, right? Being able to put it on paper, it's the same as when you're gonna actually speak. And also, like, I saw my mom, I was like, I low-key enjoy the pressure. Like, I'm somebody in my whole life, anytime I've presented, I never use a script. I never read off anything. Like, all these other people, these guys are reading off like their papers and ChatGPT on their phone. Like, it comes off very weird, right? And obviously, if I see that, I don't want to be like that. And I just like to just talk. So, dude, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, so even just like kind of, I guess, yeah, this is cooked. I literally lost my train of thought. But anyways, whatever I was saying. My point was, like, I genuinely just oh, there you go, the journal. So yeah, the journaling helps with, like, just being able to put your ideas and, oh, I remember. Sorry, the pressure. Okay, you guys know I'm pretty tired. It was a long day. I drove 2 hours there, 2 hours back, presented 2 times, and it's pretty late. Anyway, so the pressure. Yeah, so I actually enjoy the pressure. Like, when you don't have a script and you don't have anything, right? You're just going solely off, like, heart, emotion, whatever's there, you're just going. And even when they ask the questions, like, just coming up with shit on the spot, it's fun. Like, because when you're forced, because again, here's the thing, I know in my situation that nobody else in my group is gonna, number one, say anything, or number two, even if they do, they're not gonna give a good answer. So I know that it's all on me. I know I have the responsibility. And when they ask that question, everybody's looking at you, right? It's dead silent, everybody's staring at you, wanting an answer. And your brain just gets, like, forced into this mode, and it just, like, cooks something up. And I enjoy that, like, pressure. Because again, pressure, you sometimes need pressure to, like, you don't even realize what you're capable of until like, imagine somebody, you get put in front of 1,000 people, and, like, you just have to speak for a minute. Even if you're the most whatever person, like, you're somehow just gonna say something because there's 1,000 people watching. You don't want to feel awkward. Like, your brain will go into this weird mode. So anyways, the moral I'm trying to make is, number one, if you want to get better at communication, if you want to get better at being able to sell yourself and sell something, and that's a skill that you will have in anything you do in your life, get into sales. And if you want to make a shit ton of money, like, sales is probably one of the best careers to get into. If you're young, you're early, you still, if you don't want to go down the traditional route, sales is great, bro. You control how much you make, to an extent. It depends on obviously where you work and whatnot. It can also be very toxic, but it's great. And then number two, just start reading and journaling. That stuff definitely really, really helps. And the other point, like I said, is a lot of times you do things that you think are making no impact, but they are, right? Like, now, again, I'm not actively in sales. I haven't sold anybody in like 6 months, but that doesn't mean everything I learned in my 2-3 years of sales went away. And today, I guess that guy coming up to me, especially him, really made me realize that, like, because we don't notice progress. We don't notice, to me, I think I suck. I think I'm still, well, I don't think I suck, but I don't think I'm good at all. I don't think I'm anywhere close to where I want to be. I'm just looking at, I think I'm here, and I'm looking at the people up there, right? But I forget that there's people down here that are still, trying to get to this stage of communication. And yeah, it was a good reminder that, like, dude, progress is being made. And the same goes for, like, anything in your life, right? Where it's like, even in the gym, like, sometimes you might go for a month and you're like, damn, I don't really see that much progress. But then imagine, like, if your friend tells you, yo, bro, you're looking big. Like, you're looking stronger. If somebody else, a stranger, tells you, like, oh, damn, you're looking, like, I haven't seen you in a month, you're looking, like, way stronger. That reminder is, like, in your head, you're gonna feel excited to go to the gym next time because progress is being made. So that's kind of how I felt today. I was like, damn, maybe, like, I shouldn't look at it as a bad thing. I should see it as a good thing, right? So anyways, it was a very good day. It was a very interesting day. That was I don't have to go anymore. I have one more assignment due next week, and then I think my graduation is in like May or June. So pretty cool, but I'm more excited for the fact that I could just lock in now, full locked in onto this. And today was another great day, by the way. Some of the channels are picking up. Yeah, everything is doing great. Again, nothing too crazy. We're about to hit an insane number. It will be definitely my highest month ever. So knock on wood. I will share that once we hit it, or at the on the day, the last day of this month when I do the video then. And yeah, I'm about to just go watch a movie right now, take a little bit of reset, come home, lock the fuck in because we got a lot of work to do. And yeah, that's it, boys. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you realize that progress is being made, even when you don't realize it. When you're grinding at something, you're getting these skills, whether it's making YouTube videos. Maybe you're not getting views today, but you're learning how to create content. You're learning marketing. You're learning how to use different tools, right? You're learning how to think of ideas. And, you know, all this stuff actually helps you later on, right? I didn't know that would, help me out here. But now I do. Now I do see the correlation. And this is something that, again, even with these videos help me get better because I am being forced in front of a camera because I know that people are going to watch this to properly project what I have to say. So my point is, progress is being made. And number two, if you really want to get better at communication, I think, in my opinion, for me at least, what has worked is just sales. Just, I guess, talking to people every single day, especially when you're trying to sell them. It's a different conversation. It's a different way of conversing opposed to just like a friend, right? That's not really... you're not really going to get better, but like being in those pressured situations, being in those situations where you have to convince people, where you have to come up with answers on the spot, where you have to sell somebody and get them to give you money, will definitely move your skill sets higher and higher and higher. You'll become more confident because you'll face more rejection and you'll make more money. There's no downside to it. So I'll never be a hater against sales. I think it's great. You just have to find the right spot. Anyways, that's it for me. Day 19. Tomorrow's day 20. Today's my rest day from the gym. But as you can see, we're looking good. And black shirt on. I told you guys, no more clothes decisions. You're only going to see a black or a white shirt unless it's some sort of occasion. But yeah, that's it for me, boys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Good night. Peace.